And now we're waiting for this to load, and here we go. Here we go, guys. This is a Artyk versus random. So this is a surprise. Everything in it is a surprise today. And we're doing this. This is the game, the long-awaited game. Waited since April for this to get cast. And spawning on the bottom left of Newkirk Precinct. It's been a while. It's our red Terran, Artyk. Spawning the bottom right, we have our blue Protoss, representing team himself. It's Glade. And Glade is sending out a probe fairly early. Would it be a scouting probe? Would it be a proxying probe? It is yet to be said. Because he is going for that pylon gateway. But yeah, probably looking for a scout there. Looking around. But Artyk has completed his wall off, so he's not going to be able to make it into the base. And Artyk, in the meantime, sending also a scout for him. We do have double gas now, going down. And I'm guessing we're going to see the Nexus real soon. Because there's no shenanigans on part of Glade. So this still seems like a pretty normal game. Or is it? Because Artyk hasn't taken any gases. He's already completed his first barracks. So what is Artyk up to? That's the big question. He's getting a second command center. Still no gas. Rather peculiar. Pro seems to be normal. Still not taking that expansion, so we might see an all-in in this game. Doing the scouting, feeling a little bit paranoid, and there he stops. What is this looking for? Yeah, maybe looking for a proxy. He sees that there's not much here. So he's probably suspecting maybe a proxy Stargate, maybe proxy DTs. But still nothing. Nothing too crazy here. Just a couple of stalkers popping out real soon. So it seems like the Protoss is just going to try to go for an all-in. Now trying to take that expansion, but it's been blocked by Artyk. And this is going to take a while to clean up. So this seems like it's going to be a 2-base all-in for the Protoss. Artyk just making more and more racks every time. So are we just going to see lots of Marines and racks? Maybe. It is possible. We do have another racks here. Just close to the ramp. So probably going to try to wall that off. Engineering bay falling there, so maybe he'll get a double gas real soon. Just to get some upgrades. And the Protoss looking pretty standard at this point. Stargate still not producing anything. No Oracle, no nothing. So everything seems calm, but this is the calm before the storm, guys. It'll probably get crazy real soon. Artyk making sure that his mineral lines are safe. He doesn't want any crazy Oracle harass to ruin his economy. Actually, we are seeing an Oracle. It's almost ready. And getting more gates. Now the Stalkers by Glade have Blink. Okay, so Artyk with a decent Marine count already moving out. He's gonna get dicey here. He has energy for an overcharge, so still Artyk has to be very careful. He can't just like go up the ramp and try to make it work, but he's making way more barracks. Just more and more barracks. So here comes Oracle and takes a couple of SCVs. but the mineral lawns are already protected, so there's not much you can do there. Artyk's units are already arriving at the natural base of Glade. And here goes the push. So let's see who micros the best. Here, the army pushed back a little bit, that Oracle doing a little bit of damage. And the Mothership Core goes down, so that's a nice snipe there by Artyk, but he's still fighting up the hill, so he has to be careful there. High ground vision in favor of Glade, and he will be able to push this back, so Artyk has to regroup, save some units. Marines still marching forward. And actually sacrificing a couple of Marines to buy himself some time to gather a decent amount of army, but he has to retreat all the way back to his base. Because still, these Oracles doing a lot of damage from up above. And more barracks go down. So it seems that Artyk is going to stick to his barracks, going to mass a huge amount of Marines, and just eventually go for the kill. So this could be a nice sandwich opportunity here for Artyk if he pays attention to this. So now you see the engagement. The Oracle's pushing back the army of Marines. Now the Marines here on the bottom are gonna try to join in the fray, and the Oracle gets targeted down, and these Stalkers are gonna get a little bit sandwiched there, trying to stutter step back. They do have blink though, so he could use some blink micro. More barracks completing for Artyk. And another Oracle in the queue for Protoss Glade. So this game is already getting a little bit dicey. There are no indications of any expansions from either of the players. Now we see Artyk dropping his third base. He's going to have that advantage here over the Protoss, who hasn't gotten his third base and is committed to this 2-base all-in. Now we see some Zealots joining in the fray, so this is going to help a little bit with the Marines, which just go down so easily. Like watermelons against katanas, guys. That's the Protoss and the Marines. That's the Zealots and the Marines for you. But still, Artyk can still stutter step, do some micro here and there. And he does immediately target the Zealots. And he falls back, trying to take down the Zealots. The Zealots are down. The Oracle is down. Now there's just a lot of Stalkers here. He's gonna be pushed back. Glade gets a couple of reinforcements there with the Zealots. But still, that's a massive amount of Marines moving across the map. Artyk gets more and more barracks. And we have no follow-up tech here by the Protoss. We have no robos, no nothing, just gates and a Stargate. So he is definitely committed to this all-in. And he knows he has to make it work, because as time goes by, Artyk is definitely going to take a third base, and this is going to get dicey for our Protoss Glade. Getting more and more Zealots, increasing that count. But the Marines are just so many at this point. Just look at that. So now we have a great deal of Marines here. Almost 40 Marines maybe, and counting, because they're still pouring out. There's non-stop Marine production. The Oracle is trying to maybe catch some reinforcements, but they're going to be caught up if he's not careful. There we go. So nice snipe there by Artyk, and he's going to push forward, stutter step a little bit against the Zealots, but they're going to go down oh so quickly, and the Stalker count is just dwindling. It's just too weak. They're gonna go down like cardboard cutouts at this point. So Artyk trying to snipe that Mothership Core, and he almost gets it. It's very low, so Glade has to be very careful here. He can't just recklessly overcharge. So he is being pretty smart with that Mothership Core. Already almost halfway through restocking its shield, so. But this base is just so vulnerable. There's not enough Stalkers for this to not be scary. So this Nexus is going to go down. In the meantime, Artyk with a very decent saturation of his base. And just more Marines in production. We're talking about 9 to 11 Marines at a time. So this is just huge amounts of Marines. Artyk being a little bit reckless there. Lost quite a few. But Glade hasn't given up. He knows that this is his last resort. He's almost mined out from his main base, and he is going to take that third Nexus. Probably Artyk senses this, and he's eventually going to go check that location. So he's trying to go first around there. And he is going to try and sandwich these units. So that's a nice move there by Artyk. And these suckers have no way of running back to base without just facing a huge amount of Marines here. The Marines again stutter stepping and targeting, trying to get as much damage done as possible. And these stalkers are in so much trouble now, just the numbers of them dwindling. As time goes by, more Marines come in. These stalkers are going to give their last stand just here, right now. This at the same time is giving Glade a little bit of time to build his third base without it getting spotted, but already Artyk going for that fourth base. So nicely done there, sandwiching those units. There's not much army that Glade can use at this point, just a couple of zealots. And what is a zealot to do against so many Marines? Around 4 bases, Artyk getting more and more racks, 4 more racks added to his production facilities. And now, here he goes. He scans and he sees this Colossus, so that's a nice transition by Glade. Trying to do more splash damage against the Marines. And nice force fields also. So these Marines are in a little bit of trouble. Artyk has to be careful. If he's going to try and snipe that Colossus, there's just a non-stop stream of Marines, so this can easily overwhelm this fairly small Protoss army. Glade manages to save his sentries, which are very important in this case. He wants to keep that bio behind. He wants to land the force fields correctly. There's just so many Marines. 4th base already up. Just more barracks pouring in, more and more Marines. Artyk is going to try to go for the flank up to this base. And he is going to catch Glade a little bit out of position. He only has 3 sentries there. The Colossus are fairly far away. Now he moves his army. Maybe preparing for a push, but he's going to be forced back by this huge amount of Marines. Mothership Core a little bit vulnerable. There's no more pylons there for overcharging. The Zealots are just too few. Still has to start a step a little bit, just to find a better position of engagement. But actually the force field is protecting most of the Marines there and enclosing the Zealots, but all the sentries will go down. The Colossus have lost a little bit of health. There's 3 Colossus now, so they'll be able to clean this up. But there's just so many Marines still out on the map and coming out of this huge amount of barracks. It's an insane amount of barracks. Actually, none of them with an add-on. There's no reactors here. It's just pure barrack production. And more Marines moving across the map. They're gonna try to take this 3rd base again. Just this little move here, this little retreat, just buying him so much time to gather huge force here. And that 3rd base is very vulnerable at this point. Artyk going for his 5th base at this point, actually relocating the command center in the main. No need to build more stuff. So now we see a move up by Glade, but this is gonna put him so out of position when defending this 3rd base. The Mothership Core is back at the base, so he won't be able to recall there. Now the Marines go into the overcharge pylons. There's not much to be afraid here. There's just so many Marines, and this 3rd Nexus is going to go down so quickly. Actually retreating most of his army so he can set up for the retreat and the stutter stepping. Now come in quite a few Zealots, a couple of Archons. And these Colossus are probably going to be able to clear this out, but at the same time, there's another force going through the bottom and right towards this natural base. Marine's getting cleaned up. And Glade is going to try to retake this base. But there's just not much Glade can do at this point. There's a lot of army for Artyk. He has just so much better economy at this point. Up to 2 bases. So Artyk gets that forge. It's going to go and try and take as many pylons as possible. And depower as much as he can, just to try to hurt the production for his opponent. Oh, and this pylon is so low. It's so low. But he's going to be able to save it, zone him out. And just clear this attack. But now, through the top of the map, we have this attack again on the 3rd base. So this is kind of what Artyk is doing. If you see it, he has both paths for reinforcements, constantly making Marines, so he can just come back here and attack, come back here and attack, and then come back here and attack, and just keep his opponent on his toes. So nice here with the snipe on that Nexus, and he is going to lose it again, so Glade is in a little bit of trouble here. His econ is not that great. His composition, though, is really good, really strong against Artyk's very basic, very fundamental composition. But still, Artyk doing a lot of damage, and just making Marines is so cheap in comparison to all of these really expensive units. So he's going to go again for the Jugular. He's going to try and take out all of those pylons, just trying to kill his opponent's production. He's going to go for another push here. He knows that he has to keep him a little bit more split, a little bit faster with that multi-prong aggression. And that Nexus is again in a lot of trouble, and that shield is going down so fast, and so will the hit points eventually. The Archons come here, but he does get the cancel there. So that's a nice move by Artyk, who's already a bunch of Marines in the bottom. They're gonna make their way probably. Ooh, so we see a little switch here. Switching gears, probably. Glade predicting that he's going this way. He does see him, so he's gonna chase him. The Archons are ready, but then this army in the middle of the map is yet again going to give him such a hard time. Now Glade getting Blink and getting more Colossus, adding it to his count. So a couple of probes here. Go back to this base. The Archons are ready, so they might be able to deal with all of this. Those Marines are going to die pretty quickly. Basically one-shotting them. There we go. Now we have another engagement in the middle of the map, and oh, those Colossus, they get caught off guard. They're getting low so fast, and one of them goes down. The other one is in big trouble. The other one is douchebag. He's using it as a Protoss shield. You can't say human shield because they're not human. But anyway, this Colossus, repaid by karma, will also go down in this deadly chase. But now the Marines change direction. He knows he has to go for the economy to kill this off. Already Artyk taking yet another base. He's up to 6 bases. The Protoss really hard to kill. So with a very good composition there, using Zealots and Archons and Colossus. So again, Artyk spinning his units, trying to go into the base. Nice warp in there by Glade, just blocking all of these Marines out. There's just more army coming, and there's more barracks coming. And this is getting crazy at an ever-accelerating rate. So now, Artyk, knowing that all the army is in the front, he'll probably attack this mineral line. And quite a few probes are going to go down before the reinforcements come in for Glade. He's going to be able to clean this up, but then this attempt of a base is no longer available. Just more Zealots being warped in. There's only one base that's being mined, oversaturated, and there's no way that Glade seems to be able to take another base because there's a hell of a lot of production. There's a lot of destructible rocks to get rid of, which will take a lot of time from this Protoss army. But when Artyk not paying attention to this, will lose a decent amount of Marines, but at the same time, he's harassing that third base again. So this is not over, guys. This was a well-deserved sacrifice. As we say in Spanish, no pasa nada. So the Marine is trying to hide behind these buildings, creating these nice choke points here for Artyk to engage. And already taking a few amount of units. So he is going to retreat, but now the mass of Marines continues to grow. There's a decent squad here that's going to kill most of these workers. There's a lot of workers that are completely inactive. Glade is trying to clear this up, trying to hurt the production, but there's just so many barracks here. It's not going to make much of a difference. Artyk is just going to continue to pour in Marines, and there is no more money. There's no more money for Glade. There's not even income for Glade. There's nothing for Glade. Give Glade nothing in this game. That's basically it. The thing that surprised me the most is that he never went for DTs or DT drops with War Prisms. So he was definitely committed to that 2-base all-in. And that in the end was his downfall. So now the Colossus there. A lot of damage tanked by the Archons, but just these Colossus there's no way they're gonna get out of this alive. There's so many of them going down already. A couple of SCVs pulled also on the attack, and there's just no more Colossus. No more Colossus for Glade. Hey, can you please leave? I'm one win away from Masters 1. Same. Masters 3. Sorry. Uh-oh. The Protoss tears are real. The decision is to be made, and I don't think Artyk is going to have any mercy because he's walking towards the probes, and Glade is not going to give up. He wants to give time to Artyk to think about it. Will his appeal to his better nature pay off, or will he just die? I will. GG. And there we go. GG well played for Artyk, who takes this game against Glade.